Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. So today we are going to discuss the next copy of our Aspire for Agriculture test series, and today we are going to discuss the section B of test 14. So we have already discussed till section A of test 14, and in today's video we will be discussing the section B of test 14, and this test 14 was the last test of this Aspire for Agriculture test series. So we will see what were the questions asked and how the student has approached the answers. And these types of copies can be very helpful to you. When you analyze these types of copies, you can see how to introduce, how to conclude, how to write certain points, how to structure your answers, and that can be very helpful to you in your answer writing journey. So let's start. And before starting, I must add one thing, that I will be not reading the answers in line by line. So I will be discussing the important points, and generally my focus will be on structural part, because all these conceptual things have been already covered by me in the agriculture static videos and in the daily answer writing practice series videos. So if you have any conceptual clarity problem, you can refer those series, so it could be very helpful to you. So let's start. Now today's question is, what is bud dormancy, and explain its causes and means to break it. Okay. So what bud dormancy is? So actually it is a physiological state in which a plant's buds stop growing and becomes inactive. So dormancy means inactive. So what happens here? Plants' buds become inactive. So there are various causes of bud dormancy. It could be either from hormonal causes such as example of ABA. We all know that ABA, that is abscisic acid, is stress hormone. So the stress it creates can lead to bud dormancy. Environmental conditions, okay, harsh environment can lead to bud dormancy. There could be some inhibition during dormancy, okay, such as endodormancy, inhibition by distal organs, okay, oxidative stress. So stress is one of the major factors, you should remember it. Now measures have been mentioned, obviously. Cold treatment, okay, we can do cold treatment to break dormancy. We can use it highly to break dormancy. Scarification, that is creating a scar in the bud so that your dormancy can be break. There are various ways, mechanical ways and chemical ways, so that could be done. So these are the measures to break, and I think very well written. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, enlist the role of auxins in agriculture with suitable examples. So auxins are those plant hormones that regulate plant growth and development. It was discovered by Dutch botanist Fries in 1928. So this was about auxin. It was first of all found in the oat tip that has been mentioned. Now role of auxins in agriculture have been mentioned. Obviously it is highly helpful in fruit formation, in seed development, in wound healing, in artificial controlling the plant growth, in growing plant from cuttings. IAA, IBA, and NAA is highly used there. These are also used as herbicides, and you will be knowing about 2,4-D, that is highly used. So these are the various use of auxins, and I think you all know it. You can simply pause and read it if you want to read the answers. I think very fairly written. Now the next question is, write the causal organisms, nature of damage, and management practices for damping off in vegetables. So what damping off is? It is mostly affect the vegetable seedlings in nursery, causing them to rot in roots and die ultimately. So it causes rot in the roots. It is caused by fungi. Generally, it is caused by various kinds of fungi. Causal organisms have been mentioned such as Rhizoctonia species, Fularium species, Pythonium species. So all these are fungi only. Now the nature of damage have been, or nature of damage in damping off have been mentioned. Obviously the seeds will become soft and moosey, the seeds will decay and severely decay. Okay, weakening and decaying can be seen, so slow growth of seedlings can be seen, discolored and rotting roots can be seen, falling of the lower buds. So all these things have been well mentioned. Okay, all the damages. Now management have been also mentioned. It can be managed through soil solarization. We can avoid water stagnation. We can use raised beds. Obviously when the beds will be raised, the water stagnation will be low. So all these things have been well mentioned. You can use copper oxychloride, we can use trichoderma. So very well written points. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is briefly discuss integrated pest management. So what integrated pest management is, where we integrate various methods of pest management under one roof. That is, we are also using cultural methods, we are also using biological methods, we are also using physical methods, we are also using chemical methods. So when all these methods of pest management are combined together, that is known as integrated pest management. And here we have to do write about integrated pest management in cotton. So cultural controls have been mentioned, such as use of alternate hosts for the pest. Okay, we can do crop rotations with certain crops. Now physical and mechanical methods have been mentioned. We can use pheromone traps. We can manually remove the off types which are hosting, giving place to the pests to live. So I think well written points. Biological methods, use of trichoderma have been mentioned, or sorry, use of trichogrammica, that is also can be used. Neem oil can be used. Okay, so I think all the things have been well mentioned. You can simply pause and read it if you want to. Various types of chemicals you can see have been mentioned. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, explain the biological control methods for the tomato fruit borer and guava wilt. So biological methods have been explained in introduction. And for tomato fruit borer, its use of Bacillus thuringiensis, that is BT, use of HA and PV. So all these things have been well mentioned. You can simply pause and read it. So these are generally biological organisms which are used. Okay. Now in guava wilt, which biological organisms are used, that has been mentioned, and how they help, such as trichoderma, use of penicillium, use of aspergillus. So all these things can be written. I think very well written answer and well concluded in the end also. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, explain the biosynthesis of gibberellins and write its role and commercial use in agriculture. So obviously we all know that gibberellins is a growth hormone, generally help in plant growth and development, and it is isolated from a fungus Gibberellica fujikuroi. Okay, fujikuroi. It was first extracted from this fungus, that is why it is named as gibberellins. Now its biosynthesis have been mentioned. How it is biosynthesized from GGPP to CDP, then from ENT-CDP to ENT-choline, then choline to coranoic acid, then from coranoic acid we get GA12. So I think biosynthesis have been well mentioned. You can simply pause and read it, and from further we can, from GA12 we can get GA4 also, and other kinds of GA can be produced. Its role have been mentioned. It is highly used in seed germination. It is used in fruit development, flowering, stem elongation, sex expression. So these are the basic functions of gibberellins, and I think you should all know it. And you can see wherever the student knows the examples, he has mentioned it. So whenever you write the examples, it certainly enhances your answers. Now the next question is, discuss the package of practices for marigold. So obviously there are certain flowers which are important, which UPSC generally asks package of practices. So do keep a note of it and do remember those things. Now we will see package of practices. Geographical area have been mentioned, to Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Maharashtra. These are major producers, but I think marigold can be produced over most of the states in India. Climate and soil have been mentioned, what kind of climate it requires, how much rainfall it requires. I think varieties have been mentioned, such as African marigold, giant double African orange, golden age, cracker jack. So these are the varieties. French marigold, such as rusty red, star of India. These are varieties. Sowing, seed rate, all those aspects which needs to be written in the package of practices answer have been written by the student. So very good. You can simply pause and read it if you want to. And I think I have I have made a detailed video of various package of practices in the answer writing series and static video series. So you can refer the package of practices of most of the important crops there. Now the next question is, write the preparation of ready to serve beverages and squashes. So actually ready to serve beverages are those beverages, or you can say non-fermented drinks, which we make it ready and then we serve whenever required. Certainly squashes are also non-alcoholic beverages, which is generally made in syrup forms and other things, and it is usually fruit flavored. Okay, we use fruits for flavoring. Now its preparation methods have been mentioned. First of all, we will take fruit, we will mix with strained syrup, then we will homogenize, then bottling, then we will do cropping, pasteurization, cooling, storage. So this is the preparation. And similarly for squash, we will first take the fruits, then wash, then trim, then cut and grade. Then we will extract the juice, then strain, then juice measuring. So all these things have been well mentioned. So this is the generally methods. We need to add preservatives, and at the last we can store it. So this was the methods through which we can make ready to serve and squashes, ready to serve drinks and squashes. Now the next question is, describe the package of practices of mango cultivation in North India. So obviously mango known as king of the fruit, and I think its package of practices have been mentioned. First of all, geographical area and distribution, climate and soil. Okay, its varieties such as Langda, Jardalu, Chausa, Safeda, Bombay Green, Fajli, all have been mentioned. And I think you must remember varieties of all the important crop. At least two to three should be remembered by you. I think all the aspects have been well written, such as time of sowing, seed rate, the pit size has been mentioned, that is 1 meter into 1 meter 1 meter, but it generally differs from varieties to varieties. If the variety's crown size becomes big, the pit size is generally kept big, and if the variety's crown size is small, the pit size can be kept small. So I think all the things have been, all the aspects have been well mentioned by student. If you want to, you can simply pause and read it. And I think the student has missed disorders that could be written, such as alternate bearing, and which varieties such as Amarpali is used to avoid alternate bearing. So those varieties can be also mentioned. So good answer. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is, list the reactions of Calvin cycle and Hatch and Slack cycle for CO2 fixation in plants along with enzymes involved. So I think the student has drawn a diagram of reactions, and you can see how the reaction is taking place. That has been well seen. You can simply pause and see the diagram. Now enzymes such as rubisco, glycerylate, phosphoglycerate kinase, aldolase, transcatolase. So these are all the important enzymes which have been written, and simply the reactions of Hatch and Slack cycle has been shown through a diagram, and I think very well drawn diagram. All the important procedures have been written. PAPE, C3 acid, CO2 is where released. All those things have been mentioned. And what processes happens in mesophyll cells and what processes happen in bulbal seed cells have been also mentioned. Now enzymes involved have been also mentioned. So very well written answer. Now the next question is, what is photoperiodism and photoperiodism influence on plant growth and development, and explain with suitable examples. So how photoperiodism affects plant growth and development. So what photoperiodism is, generally changes in day length, that is changes in the light availability. It can influence flowering, it can influence seed generation, it can influence leaf formation, stress tolerance, developmental process. So all the important things have been mentioned, and you can say examples have been also well written, so that is enhances your answer. So this was about today's answer copy, and probably the last answer copy of Aspire for Agriculture series, and the next series will start soon just after the prelims in June. So those who are interested, you must join those series and write a lot of answers to improve your answer writing skills. So that is all for today. If you like it, please press the like button, please do share, and please do subscribe. It takes a lot of hard work to make such videos for a regular basis, and if you like, if you share, if you subscribe, it motivates us to make more such videos for you regularly. So that is all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you.